Yo, what's up everyone? It's been a little bit since my last video. At least this time it hasn't been 2 years. It's gonna be a little under 2 weeks. So with that being said, I just want to talk about the combat of this game. My last video, I was talking about, just the small changes, stuff in the clothes, graphical effects. But this time I really want to focus on the combat because I've been playing DBOG since 2020. And that's low-key crazy to say because it's just the fact that it's been like 3 years, not even 3 years, 4 years. So we're just not going to talk about how long it's been, but I really just want to talk about the combat, the things I've seen that changed, and maybe some suggestions. I don't know yet. This is kind of a freestyle video. So without further ado, I hope you guys enjoy it in advance. Yo guys, disclaimer, the footage I'm about to show is from an old video from 2020, from like September 2020. So it was on my old crappy laptop. So before you say anything, that's because that's just this video being old and on a bad laptop. Anyways though, this is of DBOG in 2020. The PvP here, mainly, I'm not gonna lie, we were slinking, but there's nothing even wrong with that. At the time of this video, slingshot was a very prominent and popular thing. And honestly, I have nothing bad to say about this era of DBOG. It was really fun, even though a lot of people could block. There's a lot of cheese in the combat, bro. But honestly, I have nothing bad to say about this era of DBOG. I met a lot of friends during this time. I have no regrets about this era. Now, this doesn't mean that this type of PvP did not have problems. First thing, and the biggest thing about it, is that moves were low-key kind of useless. Like, what I mean by that, like, of course they could be used for extra damage and stuff, but honestly, if you knew how to sling remotely well and you just blocked occasionally, honestly, there's no need to using moves, because you could just keep them out. You could just keep them at one bar and they won't be able to vanish or anything. It'll just be a continuous loop. So honestly, sling was, I love sling, but at the same time, that doesn't mean it didn't have problems. And then not only that, fighting styles, well, even though fighting styles now are still much like meta, like they are meta, back then the main fighting style people used was either Gen 1, Gen 2, Goku style, and I believe Captain Ginyu. I could be wrong with that one. But a lot of times people would fight the same or copy other people. Like whenever Space X Sling became really popular, which is basically normal X Sling, but you're using the space bar to gain more ground. Honestly, it just made it hard for people to either get into the game or to separate others from how other people fight. Basically, everyone fought the same for the most part. And really, the only thing that was different was either if you had a good PC and you can sling either really fast, or if you were really, really trash. Like, don't get me wrong. Like I said, I love sling. But at the same time, the problems it had, I can see why some people didn't like them. And especially for new players, because a lot of DBOG's player base is PvP players. But low-key, if they're complaining about the PvP, that's just on them, because this is a fighting game. That's besides the point. But I can see why they hate sling, though, because it was just not user friendly. But that doesn't mean that the technique or fighting style, whatever you want to call it, wasn't easy to learn, because it was very easy. Basically what you do is you hold A, S, or D, or W at the time, you spam shift and you click, because your punches make you move forward for some reason. So yeah, honestly, I love 2020. I love 2020 DBOG, but it had its problems. So now we're gonna move on to 2021. Alright everyone, so something I also want to get out the way is that I kind of don't have videos of when Space released. I don't really know why I don't, but I checked everything and I don't. So we just have to make do with some of this older footage as well. Anyways though, in 2021, One of the main things that happened was that the game closed for like 6 or 7 months and reopened in October 2021. Now, I remember this distinctively because I remember Sunny made a announcement in the Discord server. Everyone was going crazy. We all hopped on. And one of the things I noticed immediately is that the old combo string LLLR, I think it was 4 L's, 1 R, that one was not viewable anymore. I mean, it technically was, but it was just, I don't know. I don't think it was slower. It was just not the meta anymore. Instead, what we got was the LR block arc. I hated this with a passion, bro. At some point, the LR styles were actually really, really fast. But at some point, I kind of just went back to generic 2 because that's the style that always worked for me. But it was just annoying trying to play the game at that time. Like, of course, like, since I was slinging still, I was still dominating a good majority of the game. But it was just annoying because people, fine, LR, fine. That's fine. Like, I was used to it because people were already spamming the normal LLLR combo string. But adding blocking into it, and this is when blocking had like extra priority, bro, playing the game was probably even more annoying then versus now. And honestly, the problem with moves being useless was still there. It was still prominent. So it was just like the game was so annoying to play. Other than that though, the game got a huge graphical update. I started doing my series again, which, yeah, that's that. But yeah, 2021, it was decent. I preferred 2020 to that. But now I would be going over 2022 and 23. But in 2022, the game didn't get any updates like for the entire year. In 2023, it was still like that. In fact, the game was broken in 2023. So we're gonna skip 3 whole years and get to 2024, which is now. So I hope you guys enjoy that part. We are at the last section of this video, and just to start off, I think the PvP here is far better than what it was in its previous iterations. And that's crazy for me to say because I actually used to dislike the PvP, but when I started playing it more, I realized like it was way more fair, or it is way more fair, because in the past, like I talked about before, moves were basically useless, and a lot of the time the moves kind of punished you. But now, since some moves, and I feel like not all of them deserve hyper armor or whatever, but it's more balanced because now moves play a part in how fights can be. And not only that, people that don't know how to sling or anything like that, they can actually keep up. And I feel like that has the fights more interesting because now a lot of fighting styles are viable. Like, I remember if the fighting style didn't have a good like heavy in 2020 DBOG, or if it didn't have an LR in 2021, you would basically be cooked. But now it's actually usable. Like, I know in this video I didn't really show any more combo strings other than LLLR, but some of the other combo strings are now usable, and I just really appreciate that. So right now, I don't think the PvP is bad. I think it's best it's been. I feel like it just takes a while to get used to. Now, does this mean it's balanced? Not at all. And not only that, but stat builds, bro, we're gonna get to that another day. But for now, I'm just here to appreciate the combat because this is actually fun. Like, I'm actually enjoying it. So I thank you guys for watching this video. Make sure you like and subscribe, and stay blessed.